Hey, and welcome to my journey. Today we're going to do another Motivational Monday. I was thinking about, since I made my announcement of having bariatric surgery, it got me to thinking about being yourself, being authentic to yourself, being true to yourself. This is a subject that we have talked about on my channel on numerous occasions. I even got this coffee cup out. I made it, a long time ago, in honor of our topic. Be yourself. Well, be you. The world will adjust. That is exactly right. So I found this little short article on medium.com. It's got all kind of little self-help articles and things like that. It's a new website to me that was just talking about how, not really how to be yourself, but why it's important to be yourself, why you should be yourself, why you should be unique. I mean, think about it. Nobody can be us like us. There is no other us. We're all individuals. We're all different people. Every single thing about us, we have similarities to other people, but we are not the same. I took some notes here from that website just to make sure that I didn't miss over some things. So I'm going to be looking over here at my paper. Sometimes we want to be like others or have what they have, but you can't be someone else because you're unique. That's what we were just saying. How many times do we look at the pasture on the other side of the fence and we think, whew, I want some of that green grass? Well, honey, you don't know what it took to get to that green grass. You don't know what kind of dirt that green grass is sitting on. It could be sitting on some nice, lush, potting soil type dirt, or it could be like what we got in our yard, old bull taller. That is what we call it around here, that old red stuff. There's a big difference. Don't always assume what you see on the surface is better than what you have in real life. You can't know the truth of what's going on without being in it. That's what I said coming to my mind, what I said yesterday, or whatever day that was. You can't know unless you've been inside my body. So you can't know until you've been in somebody else's shoes what their life is like. So don't waste your life wanting to be somebody else or wanting to be and have what somebody else has. Learn to be happy with who you are and what you have. And I know that's a big chore. That's a big step if you have problems with liking yourself and being happy. These are things you just have to choose. You have to learn to do. Those are whole other videos right there. Here's another one. We've all acted like somebody else, I guess you could say, to get a job maybe, or to impress a date, to get something that we thought we had to act a certain way to get. We've all done it. We've all put on, I won't say put on airs. That's what we say around these parts, at least in my house, when you're acting all, like that, you putting on airs. Well, we've all gone in and I'm guilty of that. When I go on a job interview in the past, of course I put on my best foot forward. But sometimes we go across the line and we're just completely somebody different than we are. And I'll relate these things back to the bariatric surgery. When I did the psychological eval, I told you I was myself. I did not go in there. Boy, I didn't realize this was going to be so closely related. I like that. I didn't go in there acting like somebody. I didn't try to second guess what I thought he wanted to hear that was going to get me a good grade. You know what I mean? I didn't try to act a certain way that I thought would give me the outcome that I wanted. I was myself, 100% true to myself. And if it sounded funny, it sounded funny. If it sounded odd, it sounded odd. If it made sense, it made sense, but it was all me. And it turned out, and it worked in my favor. He cleared me. He cleared me. He told me it was not him that did it. It was me that did it. I did it myself. So there's a lesson to be learned for me to always be myself, because even if he hadn't cleared me, which I would be devastated, then I would know there was something I should work on, not necessarily on myself, on my character, but maybe on things that I need to do better to get the result I need to get. Like I need to work on my diet more, or my mental state of how I think a bariatric surgery would work. Things that I think you need to know and have in place to be prepared for something like that, because it's not a small undertaking. Listen, and it is not the easy way out. I think it's the hard way out. I think it's harder and going to be harder than anything I've ever done. Weight Watchers, low carb, keto, Mediterranean, Nutrisystem, all rolled into one. This is going to be harder. It is not the easy way out. And I know a lot of you have done it before, and you can testify to that. This is what I was saying. When you start trying to change who you are to get something, or to get advance yourself, or to get something that you want, that you shouldn't be acting that way, it starts to change you, because then you start to be somebody that pleases other people instead of pleases yourself. People pleasing, I just don't. To me, this ain't in the article. This is just me spouting off. To me, people pleasing is not the same as caring about people and doing for people and helping people. People pleasing is when you change yourself to make other people happy, irregardless of how you feel, or your character, or your beliefs. If I believe in apple pie being the best pie in the world, but you say pumpkin pie is, and I just agree with you 100%, apple pie stinks. Pumpkin pie is the best. I have gone against what I know that's a stupid, a stupid example, but for some reason apple pie, maybe I want some apple pie. For some reason apple pie come to mind, so I used it. I went with it. But what I'm doing when I'm going with you, and I'm not saying, well, pumpkin pie is good, but I really like apple pie, then I'm being true to myself. I'm not putting on that I'm somebody that I'm not. I'm not being afraid to expose my feelings and my thoughts and my ideas. Sometimes I think when we people please, we are afraid to expose ourselves. I don't know what we're afraid of. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of being laughed at. We're afraid of being made fun of. This is true. I mean, these things happen. Even in our adult lives. I'm not even talking about children. In our adult lives, there are adults who are out there to do nothing but make somebody feel bad. And you certainly don't want to people please them. Let me just tell you that right now. That comes up somewhere. I thought maybe that was in something else I was reading. We'll talk about that toxic people since we kind of segue to it. You need to cut them out. I've cut some out of my life, and they've been family, and I don't talk about it because it's nothing to talk about in this situation. But I have done it, and it has been the best thing for me and for my family, because I had a family and children to raise, and there was no way I could do it being in the relationship that I was in with that person. So I had to cut ties 100%. Was it hard at first? It was, because I thought, how could you do that? How could you forsake somebody that's your family? Well, because my main family is my husband and my children. That's my first family. and it always will be. Then other family will come. Don't help them. Don't mean I, push them aside. It just means when it's other people against my family, my little core will win out every time. So that relationship had to be severed. Sometimes we have to do things that are hard in order to keep our life easy. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you what, the way it was before I did that, my life was hard. It was hard. And when I cut that mess out, it was so much easier because I didn't have all those things to contend with. So if you have toxic people in your life, I urge you to do something about it. Surround yourself with positive people. People who are going to support you, who are going to like you for who you are, who are going to accept you for all your warts and everything. That's how I feel about y'all. I feel y'all accept me, warts and all. That little witchy wart on my nose. Let's see, we'll try not to talk too long today. We'll see. Being yourself doesn't make you selfish. It means you like who you are. You live life how you want to live it. You respect yourself. That is worth repeating. Being yourself does not make you selfish. I've said it before, the example of Phoebe on Friends. I've used it before. We'll use it again because to me it's a good one. They're putting together furniture that I know it's from IKEA, but they don't say IKEA, but they hint to it, And, excuse me. And they asked Phoebe, does she want to come and help them put together furniture? She goes, oh, well, I would, but I don't want to. She was true to herself. That was not selfish because she didn't help them. She didn't want to, so she didn't force herself to do something she didn't want to do. Now, there are times we do have to go out of ourselves to help others. I'm not talking about those times. I'm not telling you to neglect others who need your help. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about not, like we already said, not being somebody that you're not, but being who you are, irregardless of what people think. Like her, she didn't care that they thought, oh, well, whatever. She was true to herself. She didn't want to do it, so she wasn't going to do it. No is a powerful word. I learned no many years ago when my kids were young. No is a powerful word. There are times when you need to say yes. There's plenty of times you need to say yes, but there are times that you need to say no. You need to just step back, take a break, do something for yourself, don't do anything at all, and just tell that situation no. You can tell people no, and you can tell situations no. You can tell things that are going around you no, and then you back away from them. Like maybe in your workplace, there's a situation with a group of people that maybe they're plotting and planning against the boss. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do this, and we're going to do that, and blah, 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 blah. You can push yourself away from that. You don't have to be a part of that. That's one time when you can say no, I'm not going to have anything to do with that, and it be okay to do. It is okay to say no. Live life on your terms, not someone else's. Boy, that's a big one right there. If I was living my life on somebody else's terms, I would not be having bariatric surgery. I would still be doing Weight Watchers, or I'd still be doing low carb, or I'd still stay on Nutrisystem, or maybe I'd try keto again. Whatever that I thought would keep people around, I would do. Which I've done so many different things. If I was worried about people people not staying. There's so many reasons for people not to stay. The fact that y'all do stay with me, I just love it. It blows my mind. I know that you're here for me and not for the weight loss journey that I take. I know that you're here for me as a person, and that means the world. But if I was afraid that you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't step out and be myself and say, guess what? I'm going to have weight loss surgery. I would have been afraid to tell you, and I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to go on having a channel losing weight and you think I'm doing it on WW when all the time I went and had weight loss surgery, and then here you're thinking, oh my goch, look how Weight Watchers is working for her. Why it ain't working for me like that? Well, because I ain't doing Weight Watchers. That's why I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. But even thinking that I was going to tell you, I figured I would lose some subscribers, which I actually have not, knock on wood. Still, that's your prerogative. I'll say it still, that's your prerogative. But I couldn't withhold myself from y'all for fear of that happening. So we can't withhold who we are for fear of certain things happening. Sometimes we just have to face those fears. Sometimes we just have to hit those things head on and just deal with them and get them out of the way. Avoiding things is only going to work for so long. You can only avoid something for so long until it's like a bird under your saddle. It's going to keep on and on and on until you just can't stand it anymore and you've got to do something about it. So you might as well just confront it right head on. If it's got something to do with you losing focus of who you are, you especially need to get on it, because we don't need to live our life on nobody else's terms. We say who, we say when. Tell me what movie is that from. I say who and I say when. Paraphrased, perhaps. I don't remember if it's. I know one person who will know what movies it's from. It's one of her favorites. You let me know in the comments. Don't worry about what others think. You can't control them or their thoughts. I have told you on how many occasions about RuPaul. How many? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What you think of me is none of my business. That's what this is saying. You can't control what somebody thinks. They're going to think. If you're doing what you think is the norm, somebody's going to think something about you. If you do what you think is out of the norm, somebody's going to think something about you. If you do A or if you do B, somebody's going to think about you both ways. Somebody's going to have an opinion about you regardless of what you do. So why not do what you want? Why do what somebody else wants when they're going to think something about you anyway? You cannot walk down the street without one person having an opinion about you. That is not going to happen. And that does not matter if you are dressed like a queen, somebody's going to talk about you, or if you're dressed like a hobo, somebody's going to talk about you. That's the nature of life. That's the nature of human beings. We talk about people. We have opinions of people. We look at something and we automatically think, because you look that way, you must be a certain way. Well, that's not true. You can look any old way you want to look. That don't mean who you are. But don't change who you are because you're worried about what other people think. Who cares what other people think? I have told you before. I've had somebody before say they didn't wear stripes because big people ain't supposed to wear stripes. Who said big people can't wear stripes? I didn't know there was a rule book. If there was, I didn't get a copy of it. And if I did get a copy of it, I ain't going to read it because it ain't no kind of book I need to read. There ain't no rules on what a big people can wear. Big people can wear what big people want to wear. Now, I say cover your business up. I don't need to see your business. I'll go that far. That's not got nothing to do with being big. That's little people too. That is just decorum. I think decorum and being yourself is not the same thing. You can be yourself and still have um, a bit of decorum about it. You see what I'm saying? That's my opinion. But if you want to be yourself and you want to hang it all loose and free, you know what? That's on you. Because see, there's an example. Well, I don't think who you are. I don't think about like what you are as a person. I just see certain things that I see hanging out, and I'm like, oh, that really needs to be covered up because I keep my stuff covered up. So see, I just proved to you it don't matter what you're going looking like. Somebody's going to think something. Should you change for me? No. That's just my opinion. So here's our example. Don't if you dress like a whatever you dress like, and you think it sounds like something that I don't think should be out there, who cares? Who cares what I think? I ain't nobody. I'm just this stupid girl with her phone on YouTube. That's all I am. My opinion don't matter. My opinion of you don't matter. So go about life being who you are, being proud of who you are. Be you, the world will adjust. You know why? They don't have a choice. You have the world adjust. Now, I'll say there's times you have to adjust to the world. So like you got a job, talking about clothes, since that's the thing we just talked about. You got a job in an office. There's a certain way for business that you are expected to dress. That don't mean you're being somebody you're not supposed to be. That means you are just going by the guidelines set for your job. That's not the same thing. When you leave and you get home, boy, you can put your purple hair up and pluck it out if you want to. Whatever you want to do. Put your nose ring back in. I don't care. So that there's things that we have to do to fit into the world. But as far as being yourself, being unique, being what makes you you, no, you let the world adjust to you. You let the world adjust to your personality. Unless you're hateful, just don't be hateful. You can change that. Choose to not be hateful. There you go, I said it. Don't be hateful. If you're hateful, at least be funny about it. I say that because sometimes I'm hateful. I am. I know David probably thinks I'm hateful. He'll tell you, no, she ain't. Because he's just that way. But I know sometimes I get on my own nerves. Y'all ever get like that? Sometimes I get on my own nerves. But some days are just better than others. That's all I know. I ain't mean to him. Don't take it like that. I ain't mean to the man. I just get irritable sometimes. But I just want to remind y'all to be yourself, be unique. Don't let people tell you how to be. Don't let people tell you how to act. Still treat people with respect. That don't mean being yourself is being all nasty to people. That ain't, no. Don't take my words and spin them. Because that ain't how it goes. So, that's all we're going to talk about on this Motivational Monday. I hope maybe somebody got something from it. I hope that you're going to go out and be yourself today in your own choices and your own viewpoints. Keep your character about you. Keep your beliefs about you. But be yourself. Be unique. Don't try to be nobody else. Don't want what nobody else has. Don't try to copy nobody else. Can't nobody be you but you. You're not even made up the way you're made up. So that's all we got for today. And I will see you in my next video.